Martha.
Oh, what a piss take of a movie.
I just hated that scene.
I
There were
I've,
so many things wrong with it.
that scene would have been fine if they did it completely differently.
I don't
Yeah,
know
I didn't
how
like the
you
difference.
managed to make the video saying it was a decent movie, with your men versus movie
Yeah.
collaboration thing. Like, I know how you could make the second one because it's spot
Well,
on.
there's a reason why
It was even too generous in some, like, I would have gone way worse with it.
There's a reason why Batman v Superman is not a good movie. It's almost twice as long.
Yeah.
That's why it is a good movie.
Well, I don't know how you managed to do the first one with, like, keeping a straight face, even, like.
There are things about the film that I really like, but there just happens to be a lot of things I really don't like. But that's the thing. The things that are good in the movie are really good, and the things that are bad.
You know what it is? What it's like? It's like when you're out in nature. You live in England, you have nature, so you know.
Yeah.
If you see like a fox in nature, it doesn't happen very often.
The
it's
fox
beautiful.
of nature.
You
What
see
the
a fox,
fox say?
well, you don't see those things very often, and then all of a sudden you see 3 big jocks coming out with clubs and clubbing it to death. That was Batman v Superman. Like it's great to see the fox, but then you see what they do with it, and just beating it to this bloody little.
Normally it's Fox ruining comic book properties. Oh.
No, it's bad.
Hey, can one of you guys mute this and then check the stream right now? Because we are streaming, but I just want to make sure the volume is okay on you guys. Because I think last time I was louder, and I felt really bad that I did that to you guys.
I'm important.
Because I was like, listen to me, and it's like
it's my show.
Yeah.
But in talking about the things I don't like about Batman v Superman, I've got a video out on Wednesday. It's been very hush hush, but it's me and Sammy, and we're doing how to improve the DC cinematic universe.
Well, it's not hush hush anymore because no, I'm playing that. Nobody saw it. I think just Trent UK just is the only person here right now.
It's okay. I was probably going to tweet about it today anyway because I've just finished editing it, and it's going to be really cool.
Yeah, sounds fine.
Actually, you know what? You can hear everything okay?
Yeah.
Nobody's louder than, or mine's not louder than your guys's?
Sounds fine.
Okay. Well, I guess we can tweet it out. Call this our pre-show. And,
Oh
yeah, like professionals.
Oh yeah.
We are professionals.
Because I already opened Notepad.
Oh, Notepad is open.
You know it's real when Notepad is open.
Don't worry, Jake. We are going to get you to 100 subs soon.
I don't even know where I'm at right now.
You're close there, aren't you?
You get in there.
I was at 89 yesterday.
Yeah, I told you, do the collaboration with Sammy.
What are you doing?
She brings automatically all the followers from the weird.
Most of the followers that I got were she actually shouted me out on one of her videos, and then I actually got I think I got like 5 subs from that, to be honest with you. So I was like, cool.
Yeah.
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 But that might have just been because she actually didn't say, go check out Jake. She put like kind of like the annotation. It was technically Chompers that shouted me out, so maybe that's why more people like Sammy than they like Chompers.
Chompers my favorite bit of the show.
Apparently, like, yeah.
I like the turtle.
He had his own show.
Say, we're live talking comics.
Talking Chompers.
And I'm gonna put that talking comics and Chompers.
What more
Did you guys have any big topics you want to discuss today?
I thought it was worth mentioning that Campia saw Civil War last night.
I saw Civil War last night.
A lot of people saw. What?
I saw Civil War last night.
Really?
I was really surprised. I thought the South was going to win, but the North just
out of nowhere, right?
I know, it was incredible.
I think it was that Abe Lincoln speech that totally like got him into.
Yeah. Chris Evans plays such a good Abe Lincoln.
Yeah.
What I really like was the post-credit scene where Abe Lincoln starts fighting vampires.
Didn't that one actually have Anthony Mackie in it?
Did it?
I think it did. Who is it? I don't know.
Have a look.
I know it had Mary Elizabeth Winstead in it.
Oh,
She was what's her name?
it
Mary Todd
has,
Lincoln.
and it has Dominic Cooper who played Anthony Stark.
Oh
Yeah,
I
yeah,
never-
he
He
was
plays
one of the
the,
vampire
the
friends.
guy.
That's
Oh.
right. That is
Yeah,
right.
Anthony Mackie, Mary Elizabeth Winstead. They actually had a good cast for this movie. Alan
Yeah.
Tudyk.
Oh yeah.
Anybody worth having was in no, but it was a good thing. So, all right, hey, this is Saturday Morning Nerds, ladies and gents, and thanks for joining us. If you were here before, we're listening in on the pre-show, so to say. So make sure you watch Civil War. And sorry we spoiled that the North wins, but I didn't know we were live. So with me today, my friends, fellow nerds, we've got all the way live from the Netherlands, the Dutch that made America great, Nick V.
Guten Tag.
There he is.
German.
And I spent all last week singing Sesame Street in Dutch because of my good friend, Sesamstraat. So, also joining me, and a fellow American, Brando Vader. But he's also a robot, so
Yo,
he's a hip-hop robot.
I'm the robot.
And today, special guest all the way from the multiverse or Elseworlds, or I don't know, until he starts doing Marvel videos, is Owen Likes Comics.
What's going on, guys? How are we all doing today?
Doing great, man.
Nice. I will do Marvel videos at some point. But once Civil War rolls around, I'll probably have to stop doing Batman videos. But until then, damn it.
You know you have to gonna do a Civil War video because it's Civil War.
I know,
Everyone is gonna do a Civil War video.
but do you know how much time I spent on this Batman set?
It looks good, man. You got the Batman bust, the Funko. I remember when you bought that Funko Pop, the '60s one, right?
Yeah, I should probably buy more.
I don't think I have any Marvel things to add to my set. I have like a Spider-Man comic book.
There
but
are
that's
two
all.
Spider-Man things here. That's a Spider-Man poster, and that's a Spider-Man book. But they're being hidden by DC stuff. And there's an Iron Man comic.
Hey, there he is.
There you
Iron Man big on my shelf.
And is that a cup with like Snoopy on it? What is that?
That is a cup with BB-8.
Okay, from far away it looked like Snoopy from Charlie Brown and Snoopy.
That is a BB-8 mug.
Nice.
Let's just put this on here without it all falling down.
Right on.
But
So
this show isn't about my set. What is this show about?
this show
I
is
thought I
about
was just looking at your set.
yeah.
Okay.
It was kind of like
I'll get out the frame.
it's like a Cribs episode.
Pimp my set.
Spent my set, yep. So, usually on our show, we go through a couple of news items that Nick V, apparently he's the only one intelligent enough to open up a notepad on his computer and type down what comicresources.com has been reporting on this week. So I'll throw it over to you, Nick V, and what do you got for us to talk about today?
It's mostly comicbookmovie.com, but that's my
Oh, my bad.
I love me some comicbookmovie.com.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's where usually the wiki wackadoos get their news.
I could dig it.
First bit of news is about the Wolverine 3. There's a new actor signed to play the lead villain. It's called Boyd Holbrook. He was in Narcos. He was the like the detective guy.
I really actually mean to watch Narcos. I've heard really good things about it.
Yeah,
really good.
I will get around to that soon.
Really good. It's a bit different from how the story went in real life, but it's good.
Nice.
The performances are very good. This guy was all right. I wouldn't say his performance was the best. They released a little bit about what he will portray, though, and it says a relentless, calculating, and intense head of security for a global enterprise who is set against Jackman's Wolverine.
Okay.
So,
That
is this just going to be Born with Wolverine? Because if it is, I'm cool with that.
well, the thing is, it can't be Old Man Logan if it's like he's the main or the lead villain, and he's the head of security for a global enterprise. Like
Yeah.
that doesn't sound anything like Old Man Logan because
Yeah.
Yeah.
there's no
Like-
more
Man
global
Logan's like the
enterprise
villain.
then.
Took over the world.
Like I've said from day one, I never thought the movie was going to be Old Man Logan.
Yeah,
Even when Jackman kind of teased it, I thought he means that in a sense of this is going to be a slightly older Wolverine.
well, the first time he said it sort of as a joke because they were
Yeah.
talking about how old he was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He's
exactly.
getting too old for this shit,
Yeah.
And,
He's being Danny Glover.
and then he says like, "Oh, that's fine. We can do Old Man Logan."
The
That's how
problem
he
is,
said it the
everyone
first
took
time.
it seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, the fact is, Old Man Logan by Mark Millar is an awesome story, and he's an awesome character. But you can't make that movie. A,
No.
Marvel own the rights to 90% of the characters in that movie, and
Yep.
B, it's such a comic booky story. It's practically unfilmable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's set in the future. The
Unless
whole world
you
is
got someone
destroyed.
like a George Miller to direct it and do it like a Mad Max style.
Yeah.
I don't really imagine how you could, because it's basically Wolverine doing Mad Max.
It is pretty
That's
much
hilarious,
like the country
yeah.
looks exactly.
And
Yeah.
then they get Ryan Reynolds
Yeah.
strapped to a car, and he'd be playing the electric guitar, shooting flames out of it.
I mean, I have no complaints with that.
That would be
You know what? Can I
really
just say that I
cool to see.
wasn't as impressed with Mad Max as I thought I was, and I'm a
I haven't seen Mad Max
yeah.
yet.
I'm a big fan of the Mad Max film series, actually.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah, I like-
not counting the third one because that was a mess. But I really like Fury Road.
I like the third one just to sort of look at it and laugh
Yeah,
because it has so many just stupid like 80s things that like
tropes.
they don't make any sense. Like Master Blaster.
Master Blaster. Yeah.
I love the original Mad Max. Probably, actually, that's probably my favorite Mad Max.
The original?
I like the Road Warrior more.
Road Warrior is awesome, and Fury Road is. I know people are like, there's not a lot
Fury
of Mad
Road
Max
is
in
a
it.
lot like the Road Warrior.
Yeah, it is. It's a very similar film, but I really like Fury Road. I think George Miller. Is that his name? Yeah,
Yep.
it is his name.
I think it was.
He did an awesome job.
I think for me, what made it worse for me was that like I was like, okay, I'm kind of liking what was going on, but then when I was watching it with my wife, and the second the guy with the electric guitar came out, she was like, "What?" And then when the flamethrower happened, she was like, "Nah, I'm done." And she she was done with it. She was like, "I'm done, bye." And I was just like, "For reals? Like the flamethrowers what took you out of this? Not the guys shooting their mouths full of chrome and like talking about like witness me." Which is funny because now I do that to her. Anytime I'm about to go do something, I'm like, "Witness me." So
With a spray can. Of
yeah, just chrome my mouth out and go, "Witness me." Yeah.
But talking about Boyd Holbrook being in Wolverine 3,
Yeah.
who are we thinking he could be playing?
Well, I don't really know because it's still all rumored, of course.
I mean,
I'm thinking it could be the Death of Wolverine story.
possibly, yeah.
If they
Okay.
want to do
Ooh.
something actually cool, like just make a really momentous movie where, the main character dies in the end.
Yeah.
Wolverine, the Death of Wolverine would be an awesome story because it is an awesome story.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
There's enough clips from other movies that they could use for that last scene.
Yeah.
In the comic book, you had that nice spread of like all the Wolverines throughout history, like when he was in World War II and in Japan and all those things. Like we've seen all that, so you can do a really nice sort of 2-minute scene where all that happens and he thinks back and then just freezes up and in one big
Yeah.
chunk of adamantium.
Yeah.
And the best part is that when you reboot it, you can show that adamantium, and when it cracks open, it's Tom Hardy inside.
Exactly.
Well, I was actually gonna suggest something else.
Okay.
Instead of rebooting it, what they'll probably do anyway, because it's Wolverine. But what they could also do is have that company be called Alchemex. If you know anything about Wolverine
Where are you going with this?
Yeah.
X-23,
Ooh.
Yeah.
Alchemax Corporation's the ones that made
I
X-23.
only problem is with that is I don't know if they'll own the rights to Alchemax because that's tied into the Spider-Man universe.
Yeah.
What's also X-Men.
True, but
Yeah, well, who
But they
owns it
can name it.
though?
Alchemax plays a
They
really
can name
big
it
role.
something else. It doesn't
Yeah, I
really
think
matter.
we
Yeah,
have
that's
to
true.
name it something else because Alchemax plays such a big role in kind of Spider-Man 2099. And now in the comics they've set
Yeah.
up that Alchemax is very deeply linked with Parker Industries. I think that'd just cause a whole
Yeah, probably.
shitstorm.
But then
Yeah.
again, name it something else.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
They
Yeah.
could set up X-23 in this movie,
That'd be cool.
which would be a really nice break from having, Jackman Wolverine to just have a female Wolverine, like we have in the comics now. Because I love X-23. She's one of my favorite characters. I've devoured every comic that she was in so far. I even read those horrible Nyx comics, like NYX.
Yeah.
Those are horrible. Don't ever read them.
Yeah,
I'm
I avoided them.
sorry that I ever paid money for them. But yeah, that would make me just really happy. I don't know if they're gonna do it. Probably not.
Probably not. Yeah. It would be cool if they did. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
with you. I love Laura Kinney, and I especially like the new run now. With the clones and everything, it's been pretty cool. Like I really like that Stephen Strange one, which would be cool if Marvel owned it because that would be so cool to see Lemon Patch, Cumberhead, and Wolverine in a scene together. But yeah, it's not
Well,
gonna happen
Yeah.
anytime soon.
what I was always also thinking with the corporation and then X-23, they're setting up the New Mutants movie,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and X-23 was a part of the New Mutants for a long time. She was on that team pretty much up until she moved over to X-Force and Uncanny X-Men. So
Yeah.
they can put like a good actress in that role and just go with it.
Yeah.
It'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
So what else you got on the news for us?
Well, I figured. Actually, we'll do that later. There's a live-action TV series coming to ABC's Freeform
Oh
network,
yes, I think we already started talking about that yesterday.
and it's Cloak and Dagger.
Yep.
Oh.
On
This is the
ABC
first I've heard of
Oh, you didn't
this.
hear about this? Yeah,
No.
like when were we talking about that? I thought it
I
was
saw
on
that
the
like earlier this week. I was like, that
Yeah, I
sounds
thought it was on the
awesome, but I've
Let's
never
Chat.
seen
Well,
it.
you know what? We
It's,
post so much crap on the Let's Chat thing, and then we started like a GIF war yesterday, so it's lost in there somewhere, dude.
Yeah, I
But
can't keep up. No, I didn't know about.
yeah, Cloak
this,
and
actually.
Dagger
Wow.
on Freeform, aka ABC Family, aka Pretty Little
Oh, that's
Liars. We are the
Family?
Fosters. It used to be
All I
ABC
remember
Family,
from-
yeah.
All I remember from ABC
okay.
Family is the terrible advert for Batman Begins. I don't know if anyone's ever seen that, but it's like he fights for what was it? He fights for family and lives for love. I was like, there are two things Batman doesn't
Just gonna
have.
yeah, exactly.
He has no family. And
How
he
is
has
he
no
fighting
love.
for those things if he doesn't even
They're
have them?
already gone.
Yeah.
But no, I'm on board with her.
I'm kind of
Dagger
interested in
series.
because Freeform right now has like shows like Baby Daddy, which is actually as ridiculous as the title is, it's actually pretty funny. Young and Hungry, Pretty Little Liars.
I've heard of that one.
Yeah, what's the, there's
Yeah,
one.
I've heard of it, but nothing more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've heard someone talk about it once.
I think it's on our Netflix here in the Netherlands.
You know what's funny is that like a friend of mine, she watches it and she got her boyfriend, well now fiance, got his younger brother to watch it because he was just saying like, oh, you're watching that stupid show, and it was like one of those things where like they were watching it and he kind of walked by and was kind of watching it over their shoulder, and he totally got sucked into it. And so I'm like, wait, you're watching Pretty Little Liars, bro? And he's like, don't judge me, it's really good.
Serious, bro?
That's
Yeah.
how I got sucked into watching New Girl.
I just watched New Girl because it was Zoe Deschanel, so I'm like, I don't
Am I
feel
on
bad
the
about
wrong- Am I
watching.
on the wrong show here?
That's such a funny show.
I thought this was a comic book show.
We're talking about Zoe Deschanel, bro, so I think all comic book nerds will appreciate this moment. I don't know if you've seen her blue eyes, but they're pretty captivating. Anyway, I don't know why I'm saying that. My wife
What
is
have
going to
we got
murder me.
else to
I
talk
have.
about?
But-
Actually, I thought that was no.
But all of that just to say that like that freeform plays shows that are kind of like they are catered to like young adults, but
Right.
can be kind of like Gilmore Girls. I don't know, like kind of like a little bit more lighthearted and funny.
You're
But
really
then,
not. You're really not selling the show to me.
well, see, that's why I'm kind of like. This is interesting that it's going to be on because we've got Agents of Shield, we've got Most Wanted coming out, we had
Yeah.
Agent Carter, and now we're going to have Pretty Little Liars because that's what it feels like to me. Like you're on the same channel as Pretty Little Liars, so
Yeah.
Maybe it's on like a completely different time and a different audience.
well, see, that's
different
what I'm kind
target
of
group.
curious about. Like that, I'm thankfully, it didn't seem like I was completely gushing over these shows, but mostly just to point out the fact that like this is the type of shows that this channel has. Like it
Yeah,
has like the love drama. Like, are they going to get together? Are they not going to get together? Turns out he cheated on her, but then they work it out at the end, and then
Spoiler alert.
you don't.
that's
That's all the
That's
shows.
all
Yeah,
of
I'm
those
sorry, I just
shows.
spoiled all of the shows.
Those
Right
are called Will They, Won't They, and Oh No You Didn't.
Exactly. So that's my thing, like, and it
Yeah.
says that like Cloak and Dagger kind of have the romance, and then they're runaways, and then one's privileged, and the other one's not privileged, and are we gonna have the episode where it's like, you don't know what my life is like? You always had like a gold silver spoon in your mouth, and the other one's like, you don't know what it's like being rich. You know what I mean? I wish I
And
was
then
broke.
And
You
then the
don't,
two
you don't know what
friends
it's like
who
having this cloak.
and
Yeah,
then
I
the two
know.
friends who don't like each other end up in the same bed together after a drunken
Exactly.
night.
Yeah. Cloak and Dagger's friends end up like having sex together, and they wake up like, we can't tell Tandy about this. Yeah. Go ahead.
I have a
Brenda.
question.
Yeah, go for it, Brenda.
yeah.
Exactly who's Cloak and Dagger? I've like read one comic book with them. I'm like, they have really cool powers, but I know nothing about them.
Yeah, nobody ever uses them other than we need to
Yeah,
transport
they're-
somewhere. Get Cloak.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
I think
it's like a
Cloak's biggest role was in
wasn't he in Civil War? He was used like
I don't know.
transport.
Yeah, Civil War, he transported
yeah.
people.
I think Civil War was Cloak's biggest moment to shine.
The biggest thing I can remember is in the first run of the Runaways, Brian K. Vaughan had like kind of like a little story arc where I guess there was this synthetic drug going around where if you took the drug, you got mutant powers. And
Oh, yeah.
some dude totally had a crush
MGH.
on. Yeah, okay, thank you. Yeah, and some dude had a crush on Dagger, so he was taking these pills or drugs to make him like Cloak. And then I guess when she figured out it wasn't him, she what is it? He beat her up or something like that, put her in the hospital. And then so it was kind of like, Cloak is gone rogue, he's beating up on Dagger, and it turned out that like, kind of framed him or whatever, and then they have this whole, I don't know, the Runaways trying to vindicate, I guess, Cloak, kind of a thing. But even then,
where was
like,
Cloak during this? Where was actual Cloak during this?
I forget where he was at, but then they have it like the Runaways run into him, and he was like, "No, it's not me," and blah blah blah. And then what's kind of funny is like Molly Hayes, who's like the mutant of the group who has super strength, but she's like 13. Goes to rip off his cloak, and he's like, "You can't rip off my cloak; it's attached to me." And she like totally rips it off, and he's like standing there naked. So that was pretty funny. But other than that, like he's just it's mostly like we need to be transported. Call Cloak, and it's like, oh, Dagger. She's kind of like your one friend that always tags around. So I go, hey, how's it going, Dagger? You shoot light knives. So I don't know. I mean, it would be cool to see. I guess see something cool come from it, but that's kind of odd. It's probably going to be one of those like, hey, we're teenagers, young adults. We love each other. We don't love each other. I've got a crush on you, but you don't have a crush on me. And then when you finally have a crush on me, I'm dating this other girl. So, life form. What do you got? What else do you got for us?
Yeah. Well, you guys know that Preacher is coming to AMC. I think in
Yes.
a couple of months. There is another show coming from the same creators, Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg. Another Garth Ennis comic book, and it will be on Cinemax. It is called The Boys. And
Never
none of
heard
you
of it.
have read this book. I can
I've
hear.
heard of it. Yeah.
Okay.
No, I haven't even heard
Garth
of it.
Ennis wrote this book. It was pretty much about a group of trained killers,
Yeah.
military guys, who sort of keep the superhero population in check.
And it's called The
So
Boys?
when
Ooh.
one of them acts out, they come in and they either, well, they usually just kill him.
Well, that's kind of mean.
No, it's awesome. It's Garth Ennis. He kind of hates superheroes.
Oh,
That's why his greatest run was like Punisher, right?
Yeah. Another bit of news on that is the creator of Supernatural, Eric Kripke. He will also be an executive producer on the show.
ooh,
Um,
I'm probably gonna watch it then.
Yeah, so it'll at least also have some, genuine experience behind it. Because that show's been going on for 11 seasons now.
Nice.
And I've never watched it once.
Yeah, but a lot of people have.
A lot of
including
people
me.
have,
I like.
but none of them are me.
You should. It's
I
great.
recommend Supernatural.
Supernaturals? Oh, yeah, the 10 seasons deep.
I haven't got time
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah, this is
If
it.
you ever get a few days, watch it. It's really good.
I think you need more than a few days. I
Yeah.
think you need at least 2 weeks.
Yeah, last time when we were just
Watch it
talking,
all.
Brando was all like, hey, did you watch it? And I'm like, no. He's like, it's just 10 seasons, man. I'm like, Brando,
that all?
what?
I have a lot of free time. All right, I don't have much to do.
Anyway, that's a bit of news on that. Edge of Tomorrow sequel is still on schedule.
I need to
They're
watch
saying
that, man.
They're doing some casting for it, but no names have come out yet officially. So I wonder how that's gonna go.
Did everybody
really
watch
liked
that
the first
movie?
one.
Did you guys all watch that movie?
Yeah.
Which,
The Edge
What
of
movie?
Tomorrow?
yeah, it was good.
I don't think
It's the
I saw it.
first
So,
one
like, if you guys...
in a while that I liked.
Okay, so then can you guys just spoil it for me? I mean, it's the old movie anyways. So, Emily Blunt dies, right?
No.
Emily Blunt doesn't die in The Edge of Tomorrow?
No, but they live, they die, and then they repeat. They're in like it's basically Groundhog Day with guns.
Yeah, guns, aliens, and Groundhog Day. Yeah.
Okay, so then maybe I don't want to watch it. Because it's
So,
based...
like-
Oh, it's very good.
The whole
I know
point
it's
of
good,
Tom
but like
Cruise
I've read the source material, and the source material actually do have a really fondness for, and it was one of those when I was reading it, I didn't realize it until like halfway through what it was,
Right.
and then I was like, oh, this is The Edge of Tomorrow. Okay, cool. So I'm like, I should really go watch this movie now that I know what I'm reading, and then so
Yeah.
I'm just assuming that Homegirl dies, but so Homegirl doesn't die in the end.
No, I don't think so.
No, I don't
I haven't
think so.
seen it in like a year, so I don't exactly remember.
No,
I
like
think-
the whole point is that the loop, isn't it? That when they die, they just
Well,
He
see in the
essentially
in the
respawn.
book, it's there is a loop, but it was kind of like in the book, the aliens are called mimics, and in it there's like one alien is kind of like a server. So the way they work is like kind of like they die and repeat, so that way they learn where they made mistakes and they can go back to the original loop, and then kind of like go further into the loop or whatever. But in the book, they make it like the Tom Cruise character, I guess, kills that guy, and then so the Tom Cruise guy becomes the server. So no matter where he goes because they show it like one day he wakes up and tries to shoot himself, and wakes up in the loop, goes through, becomes a shock trooper, dies as a shock trooper, comes back, tries to run away from Japan because it's supposed to be taking place in Japan in
Yeah.
the book, and then even when he runs away, an alien finds him and kills him, and then he finds out that he's now the server. But then it turned out that the Emily Blunt character was a server before him. And that's why she's like this
yeah,
awesome.
It's exactly the same.
Okay, so but in the
I'm
book,
completely confused.
she dies at the end, and then like that's how they break the server thingy and they can go on. So I was assuming Edge of Tomorrow too would be kind of like the continuation of Tom Cruise going out killing more aliens. But so
I've
that's
got
why
it.
I'm
I've got the idea for the sequel. Edge of the Day After Tomorrow.
like, there you go, bro.
Hollywood,
That's
you
not-
can have that one.
Nailed it.
where they fight climate change every day.
Exactly. Yeah, global
Someone's got to do
warming.
it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then
Anyway,
and then I
that's
think the title is cooler because the title is all you need is kill.
Yeah, I like that. Even Live Die Repeat is a cool title because that
Live
kind
die
of
repeat.
fits
Yeah.
the
yeah.
tone. But Edge of Tomorrow,
See, Edge of Tomorrow
what?
was the first title, and then they tried to rename it for the
For the
DVD and
DVD
Blu-ray.
release.
But they didn't really, because then they would worry that people didn't know that was that movie. So now they're just kind of stuck with this.
Hmm.
I think they just did a focus group and were like,
Yeah.
Edge sounds really cool.
Yeah, it's got edge.
It's got edge.
Americans love edge.
Okay, next, I've got two bigger topics now.
Ooh, the big ones.
The first one is about The Walking Dead. So, how many of you actually watched The Walking Dead?
I'm so far behind. I'm on season 4 still.
I do.
I haven't
Okay.
watched a single episode.
I watch it.
Did you see the latest episode, this finale?
Yeah, and I think I'm the only person on the internet that actually liked it. But
Oh no, I loved it. I think it's great.
I do. I thought it was perfect.
I think I would just wanted to know everyone's opinion on who was going to kiss Lucille to say.
Dude, everybody on the
I don't-
internet is pissed.
Yeah, but I think it's completely unjustified. I think it's fine.
They basically what they did is they said like, okay, one character is definitely going to die.
Yeah.
Negan comes out the trailer, he makes that perfectly clear that
Someone's gonna die.
someone has to die.
He's gonna murder one person, and then he's gonna let the rest go.
Yeah.
And he just does like everyone's on their knees in front of him, he just goes eeny meeny
Yeah.
miny
I
moe.
saw that clip on
Yeah.
YouTube. He's all, my mama told me. And you're like, this is terrible. And then they show Rick crying. I'm like, man, I would totally be Rick right now, just crying. Like, no.
But the way they do it originally, you're like, okay, I can just follow because it cuts to a different person each time. It's like Eni sort of cut to one person, Meanie cut to a different person. But then it starts like it goes really out of sync. So you're seeing different people at different times,
Yeah.
and it's not quite in time. And then at the end, you see it from a first person perspective. So you're looking up at Negan
Yep.
as he starts bashing you in with the baseball.
I
bat.
thought that was really cool the way it
Lucille.
looked. Like when he goes,
I
and
think
you're
it's
it,
awesome.
and goes, and cracks a dude, and then the camera
And
is
it's-
Yeah.
like your head
And
falling
it's
down.
the
Yeah.
biggest type of cliffhanger you can do. It's kill someone on the last shot of your season, and then let them wait, 6, 7, 8 months for
Yeah.
how long it's going to be.
I know a few people. I know Mike from Trouble Down Productions had a really big problem with the season finale. He does a lot of
Oh.
Walking Dead stuff on his channel, but
Yeah.
I liked it. I thought Negan was perfect.
Mhm.
Always
I know they had
definitely perfect.
his dialogue in that scene was, bar the fact that they had to take out the fact that Negan swears a lot.
Yeah.
They've had to take that out and kind of slightly tweak his dialogue. But besides from that, which was something that was just going to have to happen,
he
nailed it.
seems super intimidating, which is the
Yeah.
part about Negan that you have to sort of capture.
Mhm.
And they did that perfectly.
Yeah, I thought Jeffrey Dean Morgan played an incredible Negan.
Yeah.
And-
Sam and Dean Winchester's dad. I mean, Batman's dad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that explains
Everybody's
why Batman
dad.
is so aggressive.
The Silk Spectre's dad.
Yeah, and the comedian.
Just everyone's dad.
I think he's my
He-
dad.
I'm not.
He was great. I would say the episode when it came out, it did infuriate me because I did really want to know who it was, but
but that's
like,
the whole point.
yeah, exactly.
But then
Looking at
when
it
the
now,
show
I'm
starts
just,
again, everyone's going to tune in to watch it. Whether they're like, "Oh, this is the worst. This is
Yeah.
I hate this. I'm going to stop watching." You know,
Exactly.
when season 7 rolls around, it's going to be
Everyone's
the first
watching
episode
to
is going to
find
be
out.
one of the most viewed episodes of The Walking Dead ever.
oh, definitely.
And I won't spoil who I think is going to be killed. But all I'm going to say is, if you,
That's what I'm asking. Actually, it's like, who do you think it's going to be?
Yeah, you
Because
can either be
I
right or
don't-
wrong.
I think that if you've read the comics, I think
You think they're going to comic group?
yeah, I think they're going to
And
do
kill
the
Glenn?
exact same person. I think it's going to be Glenn.
I haven't read
Yeah.
much of the comics or seen any of season 6, but I personally think they're gonna kill Rick.
No.
I can't see
They
ever
need,
killing Rick off.
yeah, they
He's,
need
he's
Rick.
first billing for the next season,
Yeah.
guaranteed. So it's not going to be him.
I kind of want to say they're gonna
He'll
do
be there
Glenn.
in flashback.
Yeah, I think they're gonna do Glenn just because of that bigger controversy earlier in the season where they're like, he was behind the trash can. There's no way they killed Glenn. Did they kill Glenn? And then turned out like because I remember when that happened, that was another thing that the internet blew up about.
Yeah.
Because they thought he
Yeah,
got killed then. So I'm like, you saved him just to get killed then, by Negan. Cool.
I mean, the other possibility is, I think the other likely possibility is Daryl.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
But I don't think they'll kill Daryl off because he's got such a big fan base.
Yeah.
but
Oh,
he
okay,
does
is that
have another
a-
job?
True, but
coming up.
Daryl is
Sure,
the Boondock Saint, right? What's his name?
yeah.
I heard somebody was saying that like they might kill him off because supposedly he has another show coming out or something.
He does, but I think the way they're filming it, like while Walking Dead's on its off season now,
He can
he's
film
filming
that
another
one.
show, so
Okay.
I think you can work around it.
Well, Norman Reedus is the person in this group who is doing the most movies.
Yeah,
Even like in this group now, when he's on The Walking Dead, like in his off season, he just does movies.
Yeah.
They might not be, the best movies or, giant Hollywood
Yeah,
blockbusters.
you're
He's
still
doing
getting
them.
paid.
Because those take months and months to record, sometimes a year. And
yeah.
So he doesn't do those, but he does like smaller films, and not even like indie films, just smaller films.
Yeah.
So I think it probably could be him because he actually has the potential to, do something else, and he is not in the comic.
True, but I think the reason why I don't think it'll be Daryl is just because he's such. Besides Rick, he's probably the biggest character on the show.
Yeah. Everybody loves that
So-
dude.
Where I know Glenn's one of the fundamental characters of the story, and he's been around from the very beginning. But I think there's only so much you can do with that character.
Well, the thing is, I like 3 characters are basically my favorites. It's Carol, Maggie, and Glenn.
Yeah.
Because if you look at like season 1 through 6, the characters of Rick don't really change much. I mean, they do a bit.
But
Rick
not as
goes
much
a bit
as.
more extreme.
Yeah.
Maggie went from the daughter of a farmer, like pretty, contained in like not really experienced with the world as it is now.
Yeah.
To this super badass woman, because
Yeah.
Maggie's a badass.
Oh, yeah, she's awesome.
Carol
Yeah.
was
And then, yeah.
Carol was an abused
I love Carol.
wife, and like really afraid for anything.
Yeah.
And she turned into pretty much a kill everything that moves
She's
assassin.
literally gone from being a victim to being the Terminator.
And
Nice.
now she's
Great.
sort of on this path of,
Yeah.
can I still keep doing this? So
I-
she's constantly changing. That's
Yeah,
what
yeah.
I like in a character. These constant moving, like, character arcs.
And I know one
Glenn
character.
as well.
I know one character who's also received a lot of criticism for the way he's been written. I actually really like Morgan's character.
Yeah.
I think we've seen normal Morgan, we've seen crazy Morgan, and now we've seen All Life is Precious Morgan, and then obviously slight spoiler from the season finale, Morgan does kill again. I was kind of hoping that after he shoots the guy, he's going to turn around to Carol and just be like, "I need to clear." But I really like Lenny James as an actor, so it's always good when he pops up in anything.
Oh, yeah, because
Yeah.
he's English, isn't he?
I don't know.
Yeah, he was in Snatch.
He was.
Yeah, he was the guy with the
Yeah, he is English actually.
owner of the pawn shop.
Yeah, I forgot he was in Snatch.
What? No, let's leave this up.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But I've actually got a story I want to talk about, if that's okay.
Oh, go.
All right.
The guys over at Heroic Hollywood dropped a story the other night talking about because it looks like Batman v Superman isn't going to hit the billion mark at the box office.
Right.
Oh, it is. I read this morning it was on its way to hit $1 billion.
He said it looks like I read a thing the other day talking about it might just fall just short. and they really want it to hit $1 billion. It
They
looks
need
like,
to hit $1 billion.
yeah. So what they were saying on Heroic Insider is that there's a possibility now that they're talking about releasing the extended cut in theaters.
Yeah, the rated R even.
Yeah, the 3-hour rated R
Yeah.
cut.
We get people to watch it, right?
The problem is, like, I'm excited to watch the R-rated cut because I think it's going to fill in a lot of the gaps and a lot of things that don't make sense in the film. But if the majority of people's complaint is the fact that the movie's too long and over bloated, you don't solve that by putting more things into the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, my problem with Batman v Superman is there's just too much going on, and it takes away from the focus of what the movie should be, which it should be about Batman and Superman. And, like I said in one of the videos I put out last week, I think Superman is the least interesting character in the movie.
Yeah,
He's essentially used as a plot device
Yeah.
for all
he
the
is.
other characters. When, really, I know they try and say it isn't, but this is meant to be a Man of Steel sequel.
Yeah, well, not anymore. It
But it
was
is.
started as a Man of
But
Steel.
it still is, because one of the first scenes in the film is Bruce Wayne during Man of Steel.
Yeah, it
So
is, but
the way I think of it, it's a Batman movie about Superman. If that
yeah.
makes sense. But
yeah.
I just felt like, compared to everyone else in the film, Superman was just there.
Yeah, that's very true. I just think, and I
Like,
said this last
he
week
had
as
no
well.
motivation in the film.
Exactly. There's bad motivations. It's a bad motivator.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so nerdy. It's a bad motivation, and you can't fix a broken story with putting extra scenes
Yeah.
in there, because you've seen that extra scene with the thing
Steppenwolf.
coming out. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, it's cool, but it doesn't need to be in the movie.
And it makes no sense. That scene is not going to help this movie.
In the video I did with the guys from Men vs. Movies, they made a really good point, which was all this stuff that they introduced, the nightmare scenes, which is setting up Darkseid for Justice League. Yeah, set up Darkseid, but we don't need that right now.
Exactly.
That's an important thing to do eventually in the cinematic universe, but we don't need it in its second film. It feels like they're trying to set up this Injustice, Crisis on Infinite Earths type story.
Yeah.
Which
No, I
would
don't
be
know what they want to set up.
which would be really cool, but that's like the equivalent of Marvel trying to set up Civil War in Iron Man 2. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just
Or Avengers.
introduce us to all these new characters, let us have time to kind of become accustomed and start to like specific characters, and then once we're invested and used to these characters, then we can do these stories.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, are we allowed to do spoilers for Batman v Superman?
Yeah, we technically
yeah.
had a spoiler
the
cast
fact that-
last week,
Yeah,
but
okay.
we had audio
It's like-
problems, so
The death of Superman, which I thought the way it was done was handled really well, and I liked the way it was done. But why are we killing him off now?
Because he has
Yeah,
to
that's-
return.
yeah, but the death of Superman is a story that should be told at some point, but
Yeah,
not
but-
in his second film.
But Scott
I
Snyder
think
doesn't
it's-
read the comics. He only watches the pretty pictures.
Yeah,
And
but
the cover says Death and Return of Superman.
what I'm
you
saying
know
is,
what it
yeah,
is. What I
introduce
think it is
Doomsday.
they want to bring in Blackest. What is it? Blackest Night. And so what you do is you kill off Henry Cavill, and that's how you get everybody to go to the graveyard for the return day, and then that's where the zombies come out.
Maybe. I just feel like, the death of
I
Superman.
don't want that.
The
No.
death of Superman should be a trump card that they can use. It should be, okay, we're going to introduce Doomsday now in, say, Man of Steel 2 or 3 or Justice League 2. We're going to introduce Doomsday and Superman's going to die, and it's going to be a whole shock because we've had this long time to become invested in Superman. Therefore, when he dies, it's a shock. He's had 2 movies where he's literally stood around going, what am I doing?
Which sucks because Henry Cavill is actually the coolest looking
Yeah.
Superman so far, other
And
than
he's a good actor, but
Yeah.
in both films he's given nothing to do. So therefore, why should we care when he dies? Now, if they killed off Batman in Batman v Superman, then I would have cared because they actually laid out Batman's motivation in his character, and we had a reason
A little bit.
to care about. Yeah, but we actually had a reason to care about Batman and understand why he's doing what he's doing.
Yeah.
With Superman, he's had 2 films, and we still don't know anything about him, other than the fact that he's dark and brooding and he's stoic.
Yeah.
Which
I
is,
think it's
which
purely
Batman just
Snyder,
outdid himself in.
Snyder really just. Yeah, I will not see a Snyder movie in theaters anymore. Ever.
The thing is, I don't know who to blame. I don't know if it's Snyder. I don't know if it's Goya. I don't know if it's Terrio.
It has to be Snyder.
But at the same time, there's a lot of problems with the script as well, and that's
There
worrying
is.
because they really bigged up the fact that Chris Terrio was coming in to rewrite the script, and then the script really doesn't do a good job of understanding these characters.
Yeah.
Whether it's the script itself or it's the way the script's been translated into the
Oh,
film.
the script itself as well, but
But
I think it's a bit of both.
someone doesn't quite understand these characters.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? What I think's really funny, and it's something I'm going to touch on in Wednesday's video about fixing the DCU, is they've made this Superman very much like Superman in the New 52, where he's very serious and he's very brooding and he doesn't understand his place in the world and he's alone.
Yeah.
And people flat out hated the New 52 Superman.
Yeah. He's
To the
going
point
away.
that now with
He's
DC
actually
Rebirth,
dying.
with DC
They're
Rebirth,
gonna kill him
they're
off.
killing him off and bringing back post-crisis Superman. So what I'm saying is, okay, we've killed Superman off. We're going to bring him back, but when we do bring him back, let's embrace a bit more of the light-hearted side of Superman. We don't need another dark, serious, pain-driven hero, because Batman does a great job of that as it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen enough interviews with Snyder since the release of the movie to know that he doesn't know these characters like he should.
Yeah, the worrying part about Snyder's comments about everything after the film is that his excuse for every complaint with the movie is, "Oh, I just thought it'd be cool."
Yeah.
Like that isn't a reason to put something in a movie, Zach.
Exactly.
But I thought it was cool.
Like, yeah, it was cool, but it didn't need to be that. They could easily have made that a 2-hour movie.
Yeah.
Like the whole nightmare scenes, which were awesome, but they didn't need to be in the movie. The
I've
Flash
said
showing
this
up
before.
didn't need to be in the movie.
I've said this before. Let Greg Berlanti, who handles all the TV shows, give him the budget. Let him do it with the TV characters,
Yeah, but the fact
and let him do a Justice League
I'd love to
movie
see
with
that.
those
The fact is,
characters.
Snyder does great visuals. His films look amazing, but his storytelling seems to be lacking. What you can't deny about Batman v Superman is it looked fantastic, but the problems was I think Batman looked like Batman. Superman looked like Superman. It all looked like the comic books,
The
but it didn't feel
people
like
do.
it.
Yeah.
That is full credit to wardrobe, not Snyder.
But I think
in
if you,
any
look
way.
through, if you look through the majority of Snyder's films, they always look really good. Like 300 looks incredible. Watchmen
don't think
looks
so.
incredible. I do. I really like I'm a really fan of his visual style, but he doesn't
Yeah.
seem to have the
Oh, I'm not.
substance to match with it.
Well,
Whereas you've
I
got
think his
whereas-
visual style is very fake. It almost seems like everything's sort of made out of plastic.
it's very hyper realized.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
it's,
I
it's
don't
not
really like it.
necessarily the realistic tone of, say, maybe another cinematic franchise.
Captain
but-
America 2.
Yeah, but at the same time, it is a film universe about an alien who flies around and a dude who dresses up as a bat. I think we can afford certain liberties with it and accept the hyper-realized style. But I think my problem more with Snyder was the substance. But what we need to remember is, whereas Snyder's struggling with actual character development and telling a story, DC have a director who excels in character development and storytelling. The last picture he directed won Best Picture at the Oscar, and that's Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
Why,
Completely different style, though.
yeah, but Affleck has proved he can do action, when he did The Town. He's
Oh, yeah,
proved-
definitely.
He's proved that he's a good actor, and he's proved, with films like Argo and Gone Baby Gone as well, that he's actually a really, really good director.
Oh, definitely.
That's why the Batman movie is going to be the best thing ever.
Exactly. But what I'm
Yeah.
thinking now is, why don't we take it before? I know Justice League's set to start shooting soon, but I think we need to take a step back, reevaluate it, and maybe say to Snyder, "Thanks, but we're going to get Ben to direct Justice League."
Then the question is Ben Affleck up for directing Justice League? Because it's nothing in his normal sort of ballpark. See, a Batman movie would be
Yeah,
sort of, almost similar to The Town.
yeah, that's true. But I think the sign of a good director is someone that can branch out and do very different properties.
Yeah, I think the best judge of that would be the Suicide Squad movie.
Yeah,
Because the director for that made a pretty low budget movie with what is it called, with Michael Pena and what's his name?
he's made tons of good movies, David Ayer.
End of
Well,
Watch.
the one with the tank.
Yeah, End of
Fu-
Watch, and then Fury.
Fury?
Yeah,
Yeah,
with Punisher.
And
End of
also
Watch.
made-
Yeah,
Yeah, and he made Training Day with Denzel Washington,
Oh, that's right.
which is an incredible movie.
King Kong
Yeah, it's
ain't
great.
got nothing on me.
Well, I think, maybe even just give David Ayer Justice League, because, with Fury, and if Suicide Squad goes well, he's got experience doing well with ensemble casts.
Think you're onto something.
yeah. Well,
Get DC on the
question
phone.
is always
Give
the
DC
question's
back to
always-
Marvel.
the question is always, do they want to do it? Because the director just might say like,
Do
I
they
don't
like-
really
do
want
they
to
like
do something
money?
like this.
Yeah.
I think at this point, David Ayer doesn't really
I've
need
got
it
it.
for the money anymore.
I've got it. Joss Whedon's going to direct Justice League.
Boom!
The ultimate spite move.
The ultimate twist.
Even for him, because he's like, I wrote that Wonder Woman script. It's gonna be Justice League Wonder Woman.
Oh, actually, I think what my overall feelings on Batman v Superman is that the movie itself was a letdown, but despite that, it still excited me for the future of the DC universe.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Like, the movie wasn't as good as it should have or could have been, but the one thing it did well was it introduced new characters.
Well,
It introduced Batman, so now we're all excited for a solo Batman movie.
Yep.
yeah.
It
And
introduced
Wonder
Wonder
Woman.
Woman, who, if she wasn't in this, I'd still be, why is Gal Gadot playing Wonder Woman? She won't be able to do it. And I was actually really pleasantly surprised by Gal Gadot. I thought
Oh,
she
yeah.
was great.
Yeah,
So
she
now
was one of my favorite parts.
Yeah, me too. I think after Batman, she was probably my favourite part of the movie.
Yeah,
So
definitely. Yeah.
now I'm more intrigued for her movie. I'm already excited for the Aquaman movie because James Wan's directing it.
Nice. Yeah.
And,
Yeah,
you
I'm
know,
actually. I think on my Twitter, I retweeted it from like either. I forget where I retweeted it from, but there's a picture of all of them: Ben Affleck, Jason Momoa, the dude playing Cyborg, and it was like I honestly was you quoted on because it was like a red, like I don't know what's it called on it, and he's like they're all covered in blood.
It was under a big red light. So
Yeah.
everyone was
But it was
basically
like
red.
it was all of them minus Henry Cavill. But it I honestly got geeked out seeing like Jason Momoa, who's like bigger than everybody, like leaning on like Ezra Miller and the Cyborg, and then like seeing Ben Affleck doing the am I in the picture? And it was like actually it was really exciting seeing like that's the Justice League, like that's who ever thought we would see that? You know what I mean? Like.
But one thing, this just sums Snyder's logic up. He said that he had to kill Superman off in this movie because he thought Batman should be the one to form the Justice League. Because if Superman seeks everyone out, then they'll automatically join.
You could still have
What?
Batman
That's-
seek out Justice League members even if Superman is
Yeah,
still alive.
that's stupid. It's called writing or good writing. Find a good writer to do it, and you're directing
So
it.
he's admitted that Batman has to form the Justice League because it'd make more sense if Superman did. Then why don't you just have Superman?
Yeah,
do
it's like a
Or
lose
Why
situation.
can't the Trinity defeat Doomsday and then the three of them say, we should probably go track down all these other metahumans? Superman's like, okay, I'll go to Atlantis because I can breathe underwater.
Yeah.
Batman's like, I'll go to Star Labs and find the cyborg dude. And Wonder Woman's like, okay, I'll go find
The fast dude.
the Flash.
I'll go put my
chase him down."
lasso to trip
I'll
him
go
as he's
really
running
fast.
by. Yeah. Well, she put her
Flash-
lasso of truth or whatever, and then he trips on it because he's running so fast, and then that's how she gets him.
She used the invisible
Yeah.
plane.
Well, there you go. Yeah, park the invisible plane right there, and then he runs into it. It's like, gotcha, buddy.
But I don't see the logic of why they had to kill him off so early.
Yeah, there isn't any.
Because
My
there
only
isn't
hope
any
is
logic.
that-
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
my only hope is that with DC kind of trying to fix the Superman character in the comics and trying to bring him back to more of classic Superman. Hopefully, when they bring Cavill back, he will feel like Superman.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was too dark in these movies.
I'm not saying we need to throw some red undies on him and have him fight Nuclear
Yes, we
Man on the
do.
moon.
That's the only way to make him happy. Put the red undies on the outside.
Do we
As
still?
long as he has a big cellophane S.
Yes, of course.
Wait, what was the one thing you did where he shoots the little midget Supermans out of his hand?
Where he shoots.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
In the Silver Age, he one-shot midget versions of himself.
Yeah,
out of
as long
his
as
arm.
Superman does that, I'll be happy in the next Superman movie.
Only if the midget
also want,
versions are
like,
played by
all-
Brandon Routh.
Boom!
Oh, that would be awesome.
Okay, what about this idea? I know a lot of people complained about Jesse Eisenberg's portrayal of Lex Luthor. I didn't like it.
Yeah.
It wasn't Lex Luthor.
More like the Riddler.
No.
Yeah, it
Well,
was. It was.
It's the idea of Lex Luthor in this day and age, really.
Yeah, but the way I think of a real life Lex Luthor, I don't think Mark Zuckerberg. I think someone more of like a Donald Trump kind of character. I think no, but
Yeah.
this ultra kind of rich, right wing,
Yeah, but
influential figure.
Donald Trump is dumb, and Lex Luthor is the smartest man on the planet in the DC universe.
But the fact is, Trump still has this way about him that even if you don't agree with his political
He has
views,
charisma. He has the
you still
charisma
listen
and
to
the
it.
politics of Hitler.
Yeah, but without getting too much into politics here, even if you don't agree with his policies, there's still something about him that makes you stand up and listen to
Yeah.
what he has to say. And Lex is very much the same way in my regard.
He has training in basically in TV.
Yeah,
He knows how to handle a large crowd.
but the fact
He
was,
knows what to say, when
Yeah,
to
yeah.
say it, all these things.
but my feelings on when Eisenberg was cast was I expected a very socially awkward Lex, but I thought that's fine as long as towards the end of the film we kind of get a tease of what Lex Luthor will become.
Yeah.
And there was only one time in the film, which was the scene on the helipad where he gives him the photos of Martha, was the only time where I actually felt like he was Lex Luthor. Even at the end of the film where Batman kind of visits him in jail, which is a great scene. Batman is so fucking scary.
Yeah.
But even in that, like, you could expect, I was expecting Lex to be very just cold and emotionless. But then he's acting like crazy Jesse Eisenberg with fucking snot on his face.
Yeah.
I was like,
And a
I've
jar
never
of
wanted...
pee.
Yeah, it was just... If he was playing Jim Carrey.
And the thing is, he should be intimidating, and he was only intimidating for like 20 seconds
Yeah.
in the entire
that
movie.
that one scene, that felt like Lex.
Yeah.
But they
Well,
had the chance
actually-
to kind of flesh out his character more. I was expecting him to be this zany, egocentric Jesse Eisenberg type character as a front, and then when you actually see Lex deep down, he's this cold kind of sociopath. But he's
Well,
not.
There's one other scene that sort of makes a bit of Lex Luthor sort of come out, where he throws Lois Lane off the tower.
Yeah, I mean, we do get a little glimpse of him possibly being kind of like Lex, but
Yeah.
that's not
It's
what.
not enough.
That's
Yeah.
not
He's
enough.
in jars in that movie.
But one thing that we could talk about is the fact that they've inherently said that this is Alexander Luthor Jr. Now, I don't believe
Yeah.
this is the Lex Luthor Jr. character from the comics, who was the clone of Lex, who was actually Lex with a beard that we're not going to talk about. It's more likely that they've just changed his dad's name from Lionel Luthor to Lex Luthor.
Yep.
But now with, people really not liking Jesse Eisenberg's version of
Make him a
Lex,
clone.
what are the odds they introduce? Do you think it's possible that you could introduce an older actor and say, oh no, that's actually Lex Luthor, and basically play it like a Norman Harry Osborn type situation?
Let's hope they do, because that'd be an easy fix. They'd be like, straight from the comics, that's a
You could quite
clone.
easily just go grab like a Mark Strong or a Bryan Cranston
You can
That
grab
would be a
anybody
good
at this
Lex Luthor.
point.
So like,
More
oh,
strong.
no, Jesse Eisenberg, his son's in jail. Superman's like framed his son, has ruined his son's life and ruined his company. So now
Boom.
the real Lex Luthor's going to step in.
Boom, there you go. That's the
Seriously,
story.
if,
Somebody
now
at
that you
DC
said it,
give
Mark
Owen a
Strong
job.
would be perfect.
Please do give me a job, DC. I need it. But the fact is, when will superhero films learn that changing the core essentials of your main villains never work? Marvel
that's
tried it with the Mandarin and it didn't work.
Damn it.
And now DC have tried it with Lex Luthor and it didn't work.
And then look at what they did with Loki. He's been in every movie since he's showed up, practically.
And but the reason why the villains that we remember are so good is because they keep to the core essentials of what they are. You know, we think of
Red
Magneto,
Skull.
the Red Skull, Loki. You know, these villains, even Ledger's Joker, which was a departure from the classic Joker, still had a lot of the Joker in him. He still felt like the Joker.
Yeah.
It's a bit
Whereas-
of Neil Adams Joker.
Yeah, you know, there are different elements of the Joker that were pulled from it. It was a new interpretation of it, but you could still feel like it was the Joker. Whereas this Lex Luthor doesn't feel like Lex Luthor.
Yeah, definitely. Let's move on because this movie came out 15 weeks ago and it's horrible. And
Yeah, didn't you have one more topic for us?
yeah, well, I just remembered another one. I only read it this morning. Game of Thrones. I don't know if any of you watch it.
Nope.
Yeah.
Never have.
Okay, then I'll just keep this.
But
really
they're all
short.
going to be in Iron Fist.
There's some new
Yeah.
clips out. We see what happens to. Well, we see Jon Snow, and like the first trailer, it seemed like the guy was chopping off his head,
Whoa.
and I was like, that looks weird because no one would chop off his head because then the resurrection wouldn't work.
Yeah.
But now the extended clip shows that that doesn't happen anymore. So I was like, oh, good. First episode is also entitled the Red Woman,
Oh.
which is Carice van Houten, the Dutch
Van
actress.
Houten.
Melisandre, who will probably resurrect Jon Snow at the end of the
Right.
episode, because that's what the Red people,
They
Red
do.
priests do.
That's their game. That's their bag. I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and everybody's
Um,
like, Jon Snow! they love him some Jon Snow.
Oh yeah, he's good. Like in the books, because I've read all the books as well. He is really a compelling character compared to some of the other ones.
The vile characters they have in that book and story.
Yeah, like I didn't like reading the Daenerys or the Cersei chapters because they're all done from first person perspective.
Mm,
So you always read them as this character or as that character.
yeah.
And Jon Snow was one of the more interesting ones.
Nice.
I've just a side note. I've just come across a tweet by someone that saw Civil War last night,
Right.
and someone's tweeted him and asked him how much screen time Spider-Man has in the movie.
Yeah, a fair bit. I've heard.
It said that he has around half an hour of screen time in the movie. It says about 10 minutes of him as Peter Parker. It says a good 20 minutes of him as Spider-Man,
Nice.
which is a lot more than I was expecting. Because remember, Feige tried to spin it as he's cameoing in the movie. This
Yeah.
isn't a cameo.
No.
Oh no, he's definitely a big part of it. Yeah, I've read some of those as well. Some of the first reviews say that he actually just completely stole the show.
Yeah.
Which I guess, yeah, I don't really believe because they probably just went like, "Oh, he's finally here." you know?
Yeah, there's probably just people like, oh, but I'm like, no. Then you got Black Panther, so there's too many people to steal the show in this movie,
yeah.
True.
which might be why it's probably not like because I think Campia saw it and he said, he said it was fantastic, and then I think he said it was he doesn't really he's like it's definitely one of his top 3 Marvel movies, but I think he says he's gonna put it probably below Winter Soldier, but I'm like it's probably because there's a lot going on, so it's
Yeah,
just-
yeah.
Soldier's a very solid movie.
and that
There's
yeah
art
that is
to
a really good. I mean he
that.
beats up George St. Pierre in that movie, so you know what I mean
But
nobody could
what I
beat him in
like
real
about
life.
Winter Soldier so much is it is a very concise and straight to the point story.
Yeah, but it's a very complete movie.
Yeah, yeah,
Like it has a story from beginning to end. You know exactly where it's going. Well, some twists and turns, of course, but
yeah,
it like if you only see that movie, you know exactly what it's about. You don't really miss any details or whatever.
yeah.
You can
True.
see it without seeing the first Captain America or even the
Hmm.
Avengers.
Yeah, that's true.
It's
Yeah.
almost the
And it
perfect
has the
movie in
best
the Marvel
Easter egg,
universe.
man, when they're like, "Oh, we know about
Oh,
you and Doctor Strange."
Yeah, exactly.
I thought that was
I
the
thought you meant
coolest
the
Yeah.
little
truck.
name drop in the movie, man.
The truck
Oh
that
yeah,
was
when
one
they
of
were
the
interrogating
cars.
the guy, finding out who they're gonna kill, like with the help with the things.
The helicarriers.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a pretty good movie.
but Nick just touched on a good point. Then, if you want to repeat what you just said
What, the truck?
about the truck,
Oh
you
yeah,
know,
the
the truck
Penske
that
truck.
crashes into them.
That's right, twice, right?
Yeah, do you know
Yep.
who was driving that truck?
That was
Punisher.
John Bernthal.
Well, they say it's the Punisher. I don't think it was John Bernthal.
It's
That
John
is the punish.
Bernthal, bro.
Daredevil's MCU connected, so that
It's
is John
John
Bernthal.
Bernthal because
Well,
they
it's
said
John Bernthal after the fact, but he wasn't cast at
Hey,
that point.
you
Well,
haven't,
no,
you didn't see
okay.
it. You can't tell me it's not.
Yeah, dude. If we
Hey,
know
you
it's the
can,
Punisher, and we know that the Punisher now is John Bernthal,
and it's John
therefore
I
it
think
Bernthal.
is
he was
John
just an
Bernthal
extra
driving the
on
Penske
set.
truck.
Yeah,
I
but
think
it's John Bernthal's Punisher.
It was, bro.
That's what
Actually,
I'm
they were
saying.
like, it was at the time, and he's like, "Hey, what are you doing?" I was gonna film Fury, maybe do something. No, you're gonna come drive this Penske truck for 2 scenes, and
He thought,
that's
wow,
what it
he
is.
drove that truck really well. Do you want to play the Punisher?
Yeah,
It's
this
like,
is your audition
sure.
as the Punisher. Drive
exactly.
that truck
Driving the
into that
Penske truck.
Try kill someone.
one.
You know what I read recently was that since we're talking about John Bernthal, was that dog that was in Daredevil is actually
Yeah.
his dog.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he has 2 pit bulls, and that was
Like in
one
the
of his pit
comic.
bulls.
I
Yeah,
didn't know that.
I thought that was cool. I'm like, well, no wonder why the dog didn't bite you right away because it's your dog.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty
John
cool.
Bernthal.
And then like it
Tough.
makes sense too when they were going to kill the dog. Don't kill my dog. So,
Yeah, when he goes all John Wick.
yeah. John Wick's a good movie.
That is a good movie.
John Wick is pretty much.
I'm waiting for part 2.
Punisher.
So how about the Rogue One trailer, fellas?
That was my last.
I like.
I loved it.
I figured that was your last one. That's why I jumped the gun on it. I was like, how about that Rogue One?
Yeah, I thought it was awesome. It feels like Star Wars. What can I say?
I love the piano at first. At first, I just thought it was like ominous piano music, and then all of a sudden, I was like, "Wait a minute! I know that melody," because it just sounded like ding. I'm like kind of like Jurassic Park, that ding ding
Yeah,
ding.
they did the same
Yeah.
sort of trick there.
Yeah, because I was just like, oh, it's
Yeah.
just ominous music, and then I was like, oh my god, yeah.
Yeah, it was. They did a really good job with it. I thought.
The only thing that is interesting to me is like when I first saw the trailer, I was like, okay, this is good, this is cool, but everybody was like, to me, felt like overhyped about it on Twitter and the internet, and which made me feel kind of like, why are you guys losing your mind? Like it was good, but it's just a teaser trailer. To me, I felt like there wasn't enough to get me completely like, like in fever pitch mode. But ever since, I think I've watched it 3 or 4 times since then, and every time I watch it, my excitement actually goes up. But my initial first view of it was like, this is cool. I'll go watch it. And then I kind of like got like super hipster, and I was like, oh, everybody's way too excited for this. I didn't want to
I
ask
liked it
this.
before everyone else did.
Yeah, I want to ask this because technically I've had Force Awakens so spoiled for me that I technically haven't actually watched it,
Right.
which I don't have an excuse now because now it's on DVD. But so I'm going to eventually watch it. But I asked this question to a friend and he had trouble answering me because he couldn't remember. But I asked him if Captain Phasma shows her face.
No.
Nope.
Okay, so he
No.
said no.
Not at all.
So, do you think Oso could be Phasma? And I say that just because in the trailer, and it's probably just the way it's edited, but just the way like my initial gut reaction was that Forrest Whitaker's like, you can let this change you or something like that. And right when he
Oh,
says
no, no.
that, she turns around and looks at the camera. and then kind of like has a serious face here. And I know it could probably just be editing, but my first gut reaction was like, wait, does she become like Phasma?
I don't think she's Phasma, but I do think she's gonna.
To show up
I
in the
think
later ones?
no, I think that there's more to the character.
Okay.
I think she's gonna betray
Yeah.
the rebels. I think she's an Imperial spy through the whole movie,
Oh.
just because she's positioned to be a lot like Rey,
Gotcha.
and she's very similar to Rey. So, we
I
got
don't know.
we got female Luke Skywalker. Now we're getting female kind of Han Solo. I feel like they need to do something different with this character to differentiate it from the last strong female lead. We need something different with this character, and I think that we know about how well the Rogue One mission goes for everyone that takes part in it from the opening scene of A New Hope. So someone's going to rat them out, and I think that it could
Be her.
her.
Yeah.
Could be her.
Because there was just something about that scene, and just especially the way Forrest Whitaker's voiceover was going at that scene, and then he says, I forget what he says, but it fits very well, like, you can let it change you, or one of those things, and then right as he says it, she turns around and has that, like, you know what I mean, that look, and you're like, no, there's something about you that I don't
He's
trust.
obviously talking about metachlorians.
Yeah, I know, right? There's something that can
course.
change you. Metachlorians. God
I've been
freaking
looking at a Twitter account called
metachlorians.
at Glum George Lucas, and it's my favorite.
I've read of those, yeah.
I'm just gonna see if I can find. There's a tweet that had me in
Stupid
tears.
metachlorians.
Let me see if I can find it.
But okay, well he's looking
In
for
the
that.
meantime,
Yeah.
in the meantime, there's two things I liked about the trailer. The first thing is the trailer itself. It seems like an awesome movie. I'm really interested because it's finally a Star Wars movie that's about like a lot of the space battles and like some sort of infiltration mission. Those are the things I really liked in A New Hope. So finally get to see that again.
Yeah.
Awesome. The other thing I liked about it is the outcry of men's rights activists on the internet
What?
crying about, oh no, there's another female-led Star Wars movie.
Ridiculous.
Shut up. Serious? I'm so
stupid.
glad I didn't see
Oh.
that.
I wish
So
I could just
retarded.
like get a pool of their salty tears
And
and
drink it, man. Just freaking wash my car with it. So
Oh.
stupid.
I
Like
can't
what
remember
was the
the
other
website,
one?
But there was somewhere.
Ah,
There's a
stupid.
collection of tweets about that, and it's just all these guys going like, "Oh, this movie's gonna be the worst." It's like, "Oh, another female-led Star Wars movie. We're gonna have to wait for another 3 or 5 movies before we're gonna get a male lead again."
Shut up.
Stupid. Yeah, please.
Anyway, would you like to hear 3 Glum George Lucas tweets?
Go
Oh,
for
yeah,
it.
go ahead.
I wonder if it's too late to add pod racing to The Empire Strikes Back. There was only one problem with the CGI in the prequels. I didn't use enough of it. There were actual humans in some scenes. It makes me sick. Making Greedo shoot first cost millions of dollars and possibly ruined the scene and the whole movie, and it was so worth it. I knew fans would love Darth Maul. He was so cool. That's why I killed him off. He was distracting people from the trade disputes.
Jeez.
Oh.
Do I have any regrets about the prequels? Yes, I should have made more of them. I could have shown so many trade disputes.
Oh man. And that's Twitter?
but
What
yeah.
is it?
That I'm just full on for this movie. I want to see it. I want to see it really badly, and I
Yeah.
think it's awesome.
And Diego Luna and Donnie Yen is in it? What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
This is gonna be so good. Yeah, like, because the cool thing about Star Wars is always had this, like, Bushido samurai type vibe to it in space. And then to see, like, Donnie Yen show up and
Yeah.
do some badass stuff. Like, I'm like, oh, how perfect is that? I just wish he had a lightsaber.
Yeah, maybe he does. Before we end, I've got one more tweet I want to read out.
All right, go for it.
How is The Force Awakens a Star Wars movie? There were no midichlorians or Gungans. Halfway through, I thought I was watching Star Trek.
George Lucas.
The plot for episode 7 is all wrong, and no one wants to see Luke alone on an island. He should have followed in his dad's footsteps. Pod racing.
Pod racing. This, you know what? That sounds like
Wow.
That's such like a space redneck thing, like NASCAR. Like you could have been a pod racer, son, but instead you went and fought the Empire. Like
Although I think George Lucas is not a redneck in any way.
I know, but doesn't pod racing kind of have like that, like NASCAR? I don't know.
Almost, yeah.
Well, no, there's a lot, like, there's right and left turns.
They don't just go in circles.
He's put.
There's-
NASCAR for people
There's
who
like
can't
so
see
many people that
forward
hate
and
us
left.
now. The
There you
whole
go.
NASCAR
Guys, I
community
figured out-
just hates
Guys, I
us.
figured out a new ending to Return of the Jedi. So the Emperor wants a new apprentice. Luke and Vader decide to put away their lightsabers, and they pod race to the death. I should have made a prequel about Luke as a boy. There would have been so many action scenes. He would have farmed the hell out of that moisture.
Oh god.
I'm in tears. I cut footage from the "I'm Your Father" scene. In the full version, Luke doesn't jump off the edge until Vader talks about metachlorians. Oh.
So, moving on, I guess. What's everybody been reading this week? Anybody getting comics on a new comic book day?
I've been reading
yeah.
a lot, and I mean a lot. Well, not really that much.
You're a lot. No, not really.
First I read the Tomboy, the 4 issues.
Yeah.
That I had them laying around since you made that video,
Yeah.
and I really liked it. I think Tomboy's awesome.
It's good, right?
It's really good. Like I told you, I think yesterday on Skype, it really felt like Lock and Key to me.
Mm-hmm.
It sort of has this sort of atmosphere of creepy.
Yeah.
Especially at the end of the first issue, you just go like, "Oh, this just took a left turn."
Yeah.
It's sort of like Paper Girls takes that weird left turn as well at the end of the first issue.
Okay. Yeah, I
It's
haven't.
sort of like
I just got paper. That's one of the ones I picked up, and I just read that little beginning. What is the first couple pages of that like nightmare scene that the girl's having, and I was
Oh, yeah.
like, I thought this was about girls doing paper routes. What is going on with this nightmare right now? So I'm looking forward to reading that one. But yeah, Tomboy was really good, man. I'm glad you
Do
liked
you
it.
have first volume?
Of Paper Girls?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just got that whole thing. My whole thing with comics this week is I had like a whole bunch of birthday money left over, and I got a bunch of gift cards. So I picked up like Black Canary. I got that All You Need Is Kill, the one for the Edge of Tomorrow, and then I got what is it, the new Black Panther? Did any of you guys check that out?
Nice. No, I haven't, but I'll be picking.
I
it up
haven't
next
read
week.
that yet.
It's not too bad. It is very how do I want to say this, like politically charged, I guess, which is kind of cool
Right.
because he is the king of Wakanda. It does have this like really, because I always thought his suit was just like spandex, and it has this really cool. I think if you go on like Comixology, it's actually in the preview pages. But there's like
Yeah,
really
they
cool,
changed
like
it.
yeah, like this really cool kind of like Tony Stark type. Like I don't know, like from the movie when you put that little glove on, and it kind of formed around him on the trailer for Civil War.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It kind of has like that vibe to it, and I was like, oh, that's really cool, and the art is really good. But the whole first issue is very like politically charged, and it's kind of showing you that like, I guess like kind of like he's not kind of losing the people, and apparently the bad guy has some kind of power where they can kind of like have people lose consciousness to hate, so they're not thinking in their right mind, they're just thinking with hate. And so anywhere he shows up, it's like, we hate the king, we want to take the the kingdom away from the king. And so he's having to deal with that. I know
Right.
the guys from the new show The Pool didn't quite care for it too much. So they're hoping maybe the second issue or third
Yeah.
issue will pick up. And then I picked up Batgirl number 50 just because it had Black Canary in it, and I recently become a Black Canary fan. And it wasn't too bad. I did jump into it like kind of like at the end of the arc. So now I'm really curious as to what happens leading up to it, but it was pretty cool. It had like Black Canary and some other. I don't even know who this other girl is. Like Blue
It-
Hawk or something like that.
Bluebird.
Hey,
Blue is it
do,
Bluebird? It's a girl. It's a girl in like a what looks like a Nightwing outfit. To be honest
Yeah,
with you.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's Bluebird.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And it's got a couple of. I guess this one chick called Operator who was pretty badass, and she apparently runs like this like bat mech.
Oh, she's the operator for Gordon.
For Barbara Gordon, right?
No, for what's his name?
Bat Gordon.
Jim Gordon.
Oh, is she? Okay.
And she's in the thing in the flying thing. She sends out the bat suits.
Oh, okay. Because that was pretty cool, and I'm like, who's this? I'm like, Operator is pretty cool. I like her. So it's got me interested in the Batgirl stuff. So I might actually go back and read those. And then just because I had and then just because I had the gift cards, I picked up Paper Girls, Welcome Back, and the trade for Suiciders. I haven't touched any of those yet, but I've got them because gift cards.
Start with Paper Girls.
Yeah.
You don't watch Arrow, do you?
No, I think I just watched the first season. I meant to watch the second season because Deathstroke looked pretty cool, and then I just never got into it. And then everybody says just watch Flash. So
Yeah, they killed off Black Canary.
yeah, well they killed off the
Spoilers, it came out-
sister, right? And then now what's her name is the
No. Now they killed off the sister already
Actual
died
full-
and came back.
As White
through,
Canary, right?
Lazarus Pit
yeah.
as White Canary.
Yeah.
But now they also killed Black Canary.
Oh, they killed off what's her face too.
Yeah. So they're both
dead.
One's time traveling in the other show, and the other's dead.
Nice.
So
But
yeah.
they also confirmed that they will not be bringing back that version of Black Canary, but they did say that Earth 2 Black Canary will be showing up on the Flash soon.
Yeah, what's it called again?
And then Supergirl showing up.
Damn it. Siren something.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Siren said?
Yeah, and she actually has the Canary Cry as an actual
Yeah,
power
she has it.
instead.
Yeah.
Speaker and
Okay, that's the one that the new Black Canary has. Like she has. I was like, when did Black Canary get screaming powers? I didn't know she had screaming powers. But that run is pretty cool. I was digging that run. Anybody else get anything? Anything new for Comic Book Day? No. I also got to check out The Mighty Zodiac by Oni Press. Those guys send me like samples and stuff now, which is pretty cool. And I think that's more of like an all ages book, so kind of fits more for like the younger readers. But it's kind of like, I guess, based on the Zodiac, the Chinese Zodiac. So like rat, boar, snake, dragon, all of those guys. And they're kind of like fighting against ninja rabbits.
I'm Jake.
Yeah, that I cut out.
No, you're still here for some reason.
Everybody else died.
But everyone else.
I'm here, but
Oh.
my camera's just turned itself off.
It's like, it's time to
Yeah.
wrap up the show, guys.
So this is probably a good time to end, because in the immortal words of John Cena, you can't see me.
Yeah. And then, like, on the live
Wait.
stream, it's like just your picture, like, slowly trying to hide behind Nick V. So, yeah, and then I think Brando completely disappeared, so.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was a show, guys.
Yeah. So, yeah, if you guys want to see more, go ahead and click in my videos. We've got other podcasts that we did earlier in the month and back a couple months ago. Also, there's another one with Owen. So if you enjoyed us having Owen on the show, go ahead and check out that one. And he's also got an awesome channel at Owen Likes Comics. I'm sure you like if you've been paying attention this far, you know there's some really good stuff coming out. He does have two cool videos of why Batman Superman is a good movie, why Batman Superman is a bad movie, with special guests on those, and I've seen those, and those are really good. And he also has how and why, different things in the comic industry, some different how and whys with your favorite characters.
Yeah, that show's coming back next week.
Yeah, And then, are you still going to be doing the development hell with Nick soon?
Yeah, that's coming out next week as well. So we got a busy week.
Awesome. So go subscribe. Make sure
Thank you.
you get those push notifications. I know I do. So that
Oh.
way I'm the first one there to bug him on his videos.
I always get them for everyone. It's really annoying. My phone goes off all the.
No, there's some people I had to turn it off for, but Owen's one of the few people that I'm like, no, I'm leaving Owen's on because I like
I
when his videos
appreciate
come
that.
out. So definitely go check it out and subscribe. Brando, I know he said he was working on some stuff, so just check out his channel. It's Cosmic Nerd Studios, and he's at Brando Vader on Twitter. And I'm sorry I forgot to say Owen's. Yours is at Owen Likes Comics on Twitter as well. Yeah. And Nick is our operator who sends out flying Batman mecha suits. And so you can find Nick at SickMindNick on Twitter, and he usually retweets our stuff. And actually, if you go, he actually does tweet really cool stuff. So if you want to know about news or different other fun, cool nerd stuff, Nick V is the place to be on Twitter.
Nice.
And you can find me on Twitter as well at Jacobs_Talkbox. If you're watching this, you're probably watching this on my channel. So thanks for stopping by. If you want to hit subscribe, I'm like 11 people away from being 100, and that's awesome. I know like 75 of the subscriptions are Nick V with dummy accounts, so it'll be nice to actually have real humans watching my content. So
I think it's 73 at the moment.
Is it 73 that you got? Okay, yeah, because I went up really fast and I was like, wow, this is cool. And they're all like Nick V1, Nick V2, Nick V3. So I was like, well, it works. 73 is 73 subscribers, even if it's the same guy. So with that being said, thank you for stopping by. We hope you like our podcast, and we try to get these live every Saturday at about 10:30, 11 Pacific Standard Time in the morning. So thanks for stopping by. We'll see you guys next week.
Have fun and keep reading.
You bastard. And no, you've done it wrong as well.
No, I'm doing it
That's
right.
his.
That's
His is have fun and keep reading. He's like,
that has never been my catchphrase.
I'm so glad I didn't
not
stop
yours,
yet.
Ours.
I haven't stopped the stream, and thank God I didn't, because that needed to be in there. Okay, bye everybody.
No, wait.
What?
We're gonna do this properly.
Okay, go for
Have
it.
fun.
So until next time.
Have fun.
Fuck you, Nick. Until next time, guys. Take care.
Have fun.
Fuck you, Nick. Until next time. Have fun.
Keep reading.